I have a problem with the Kirkpatrick evaluation model, the 4 steps of evaluation. Now, I'm not just trying to be provocative. I'm not trying to take a shot at another one of our classic, well-loved frameworks. In fact, probably it's just that I have a pet peeve about the Kirkpatrick model. Now, I'm sure you remember, usually the Kirkpatrick model is shown as like a triangle here with the 4 levels. So level 1 is learner reaction. Did people like it? Would they recommend it? Level 2 is learning. Was there knowledge transfer? Level 3, climbing up that pyramid. Step 3 is behavior change. So critical for our leadership development, our soft skills programs. And level 4, the pinnacle of the triangle, is results. Did we actually get any business results? What's the business impact of the training program? So here's my problem. Let's start with level 1. Level 1, learner reaction. I mean, I don't mean to sound flippant, but I don't really care that much about learner reaction. They're not experts in gap analysis. They don't know the needs analysis that went into the training program. Most learners are not instructional designers. They don't understand about learning theory or behavior change. And so asking them their opinion, I mean, we still ask, it's nice to know, but it doesn't really mean that much. It's like, imagine we've identified a population of people who are having health problems because they're overweight. And so health professionals have determined that all of the people in this group should get on a treadmill and walk 10,000 steps a day. Not an unreasonable thing. And then, you pull me off the treadmill at the end of it, or after 5 days of it, whatever it is, and say, hey, Kevin, did you like that treadmill experience? And I would say, no, it makes me sweaty and I'm really bored. Oh, would you recommend your colleagues or friends go through this experience? Not really, not unless they want to be really sweaty and bored. So most of the learners, we're asking them to evaluate a program that they truly might not want to be part of, or they're not really understanding the way it's been crafted or the goals of the program at a bigger level. Level 2, learning. Okay, yes. Let's say we're teaching grow coaching. Do I need to remember the 4 steps in grow? G stands for goals. Yes, that's right. But again, as the second step, especially I'm talking about leadership, I'm talking about soft skills, knowing without doing, the knowing doing gap, is a huge problem. So I really don't care if learners know about grow, if they're not applying grow, if they're not doing the coaching. Level 3 is where now it gets interesting. It's the behavior change for leadership development, for soft skills. Have we changed behaviors? What was the before? What is the after? Have we improved behaviors? That is something we care about. And then, of course, level 4 is, does any of this matter? Is it having an impact on the desired goal, on the objectives, the whole why we did this training program to begin with? So my pet peeve, I'm not saying throw it out. I'm not saying it's not valuable, but here's how I would fix it. I would turn the steps upside down. I want to start the first step, the level 1, the biggest piece of that triangle. Let's make that results. Let's begin with the end in mind, the famous saying from Covey, of course. So let's put most of our effort into understanding what is it that we're trying to affect, and let's make sure we're measuring that effectiveness. What does that look like? At LeadX, for our frontline managers, for frontline manager training, we want them to increase the engagement of their team members. We want them to lead in a way that increases employee engagement. So are we moving the needle on team engagement? Our programs that, let's say our women in leadership programs, we often want to increase the promotion rate, the promotability of senior female leaders. We also want to certainly keep them in their jobs longer, so turnover or retention. We've done training programs teaching executives about resilience. The end point is we want lower levels of stress. We do before and after measures using the PSS scale to measure the impact on stress. So let's start there. What is now called level 4 should be step 1, level 1. And let's flip it. What is now level 3 behavior should be level 2, the second step, the next biggest chunk of that triangle. Everything we're doing for the soft skills training, the power skills, as I like to call them, it's for naught if they're not changing their behaviors. So let's take the time and the resources to say, look, before we get into this, or let's not do it unless we're actually showing a change in behaviors. At LeadX, we have what we call the LQ12. That's your leadership intelligence, the 12 behaviors that drive engagement. Well, what was your LQ12 before the program? What is it after the program? Measure it with a self-assessment or measure it with a 180 assessment. These things can be measured. And then, sure, level 3, going up higher in the pyramid, let's go ahead and talk about learning. How much of what we covered are you retaining? Again, if you're doing the behaviors, then you're probably remembering the content. So I'm less intrigued by that, but sure, go ahead, knock yourself out. And then finally, sure, let's ask you about your experience with the program. It can be used. That data is interesting to uncover incompetent, instructors. Sometimes, but it's the qualitative. How can we make this program better? Would you rate this program, as one of the best learning experiences you've ever had? That's literally a question we ask at LeadX. And thankfully, it's usually between 40 and 60% will say, yes, this was the single greatest learning experience we've ever had. And if they say it isn't the single greatest experience, then of course, the magic is in the follow-up. What would have made it the single best learning experience, the most transformative experience you've ever have? So, I had just gotten off a phone call. We were talking about evaluation. Kirkpatrick, 4 levels. Everybody knows it. It's always out there. But my pet peeve is we got to flip the triangle. Let's start with level, what we now today call level 4, and let's put the most resources behind it. Let me know how you like to measure your programs. Let me know what you think about Kirkpatrick's 4 levels. What do I have wrong? What do I have right?